Jay-Z and them was putting it together. Mm-hmm. So I think they still harbor some energy towards me.
You think you were purposely left out of the ad?
No.
Eminem is shaking things up, and he's not holding back when it comes to Jay-Z and Beyoncé. This isn't just about standing by 50 Cent in his ongoing feud with the Carters. It goes much deeper. Em is pulling back the curtain on some shocking allegations. The claim? That Jay and Bey didn't just sideline other artists. They allegedly sabotaged careers from behind the scenes. Eminem hasn't forgotten how Jay-Z tried to block 50 Cent from performing at the Super Bowl, and that didn't sit well. Now he's shedding light on what he calls dirty industry power plays. He's calling out big-name stars who use cutthroat tactics to keep their spot at the top. And when it comes to the Carters, the list of affected artists is jaw-dropping. Eminem points to legends like DMX and Aaliyah, gone far too soon, but also notes other talents who seem to vanish without explanation. Stars like Amory and Carrie Hilson, once on the rise, disappeared right as they were gaining momentum. Some say the Carters played a role in sidelining these talents. So why are Eminem and 50 Cent speaking up now? Is the Carter empire starting to crumble? What's really happening behind the scenes? And how many careers were derailed along the way? While Eminem may not be as vocal on social media as 50, he's making it clear he's not afraid to bring these allegations to light. When Eminem speaks, the whole world pays attention, and he's got no patience for artists who climb the ranks by stepping on others. Jay-Z and Beyoncé? Oh, they're definitely on his list. But for Eminem, this isn't just another music industry feud, it's personal. You see, 50 Cent isn't just another rapper to Eminem. He's family. Their bond goes way beyond collaborations and hits. In fact, 50 once admitted that he got so emotional at Eminem's daughter Hailey's wedding last year that he shed real tears. That's how deep their connection runs. So when it comes to Jay-Z's long-standing beef with 50, it's no wonder Eminem feels the heat too. If there's one thing we know about Marshall, it's that loyalty is everything to him. And if 50's enemies become Eminem's enemies, well, you can be sure Jay isn't on Slim's holiday card list either. This isn't just a recent drama, though. The bad blood goes back years. Sure, Eminem and Jay-Z shared the spotlight in the early 2000s with a few collaborative tracks, but that vibe soured fast. Eminem caught wind of whispers that Jay-Z had been making sneaky moves, allegedly throwing shade at 50 and trying to derail his career behind closed doors. For Eminem, that kind of backdoor maneuvering doesn't fly. Then came 2023, when 50 Cent decided enough was enough. He broke his silence, publicly accusing Jay of using his NFL connections to keep 50 off the Super Bowl stage. The allegations sent shockwaves through the industry, but here's the kicker. Jay's plan didn't pan out. 50 still managed to shine, and the entire drama only added more fuel to an already blazing feud. Eminem wasn't about to let things slide. According to 50 Cent, Eminem stepped up and put it plainly. No 50 Cent, no Eminem. Period. The message was clear, and the NFL got the memo. But that's not all. Now Eminem and 50 are teaming up to shine a light on what they see as the shady side of the music world, specifically calling out Jay-Z and Beyoncé over the Grammys. The accusations? That the Carters have mastered behind-the-scenes moves to scoop up awards they don't deserve. 50 Cent hasn't minced words, accusing Jay-Z of leveraging his marriage to Beyoncé as a golden ticket to trophy after trophy. Meanwhile, Eminem has been voicing his frustration with the Grammys for years, labeling the entire affair a pay-to-play circus. For Eminem, it's personal. He's made it clear that he's done with the Grammys. He's openly said he'll never set foot in that room again. Why? Not because he lost, but because of how it went down. Eminem has repeatedly said he wouldn't mind losing to an artist with a genuinely better album. What really grinds his gears is how the Grammys build him up, hyping his presence, using his name and stature to boost ratings, only to leave him out in the cold. When asked if he'd return if he had some influence on the voting process, Eminem didn't hesitate. He shot down the idea, insisting it wouldn't change a thing because the whole system is rigged from the start. As if that wasn't enough, 50 Cent doubled down. He went even further, claiming that Jay's victories aren't about talent, but about his high-profile marriage. According to 50, the moment Jay and Beyoncé walk through the door, the ratings soar, and that's all the Grammys really care about. For them, it's not about artistry or merit, it's about viewership and buzz. And just when you thought 50 might ease up, he turned up the heat again, refusing to hold back on what he sees as the real reason the Carters keep winning. During his fiery appearance on the Flagrant podcast, 50 Cent didn't hold back. He threw down the gauntlet, claiming those Grammys that Jay-Z keeps racking up are more about Beyoncé's presence than Jay's actual lyrical skills. No sugarcoating, no hesitation, just straight talk. But then things took a messy turn when he flipped the script entirely. 50 dropped a bombshell. He suggested that Jay-Z and Beyoncé's marriage might not be about love anymore. He called it a contract, implying the power couple might just be keeping up appearances to preserve their brand and stay at the top of the industry food chain. This wasn't just idle gossip. 50 was calling out what he saw as a carefully managed facade designed to maintain their image, and it didn't end there. In another interview on Talk with Flea alongside Cameron, 50 turned up the heat again. He accused Jay-Z of continuing to play dirty behind the scenes, not just in music, but in the business world as well. According to 50, even though Jay has nothing left to prove, he's still allegedly sabotaging deals just out of sheer spite. That's not just a bold claim, it's downright explosive. But here's where things get even more intriguing. 50 isn't the first to suggest this. Whispered allegations about Jay-Z undercutting peers have been circulating for years. These rumors paint a picture of a man who might have been secretly tripping up others to maintain his grip on power. One story that still sends chills through hip-hop circles involves Harlem legend Big L. This is the same Big L who gave Jay a platform back in the day. Fans have long raised questions about Jay's meteoric rise and whether it was as clean as it seemed. The shadow of Big L's untimely death in the late 90s still looms large. Known for his jaw-dropping freestyle abilities, Big L was a time before he'd take the industry by storm. And that's when the Rockefeller camp came calling. Dame Dash, co-founder of Rockefeller Records, reportedly had his eyes on signing Big L and his crew as a group. It looked like everything was finally aligning. And then, out of nowhere, tragedy struck. Big L was gunned down in a drive-by shooting right in his own Harlem neighborhood. It was a devastating blow, not just for Harlem, but for the entire hip-hop community. The shockwaves were felt everywhere, and the questions began immediately. What really happened that night? Who was behind it? A childhood friend of Big L's, Gerard Woodley, was arrested in connection with the murder. But without enough evidence, he was released. The case went cold, leaving Big L's murder unsolved to this day. And the shadows didn't stop there. In 2016, Gerard Woodley was killed in Harlem as well. The unanswered questions piled up. And then came the whispers. Industry insiders, including the controversial Jaguar Wright, have hinted that Jay-Z might know more. I never met anyone more competitive than me, except Jay-Z. That intense rivalry left a mark on their history, one that didn't fade after DMX's passing in April 2021. Jay-Z appeared on LeBron James's show, giving what seemed like a heartfelt tribute, claiming there was always love and respect between them. He spoke about how, even during DMX's toughest times, the energy between them was positive. But die-hard DMX fans weren't convinced. The hardcore supporters remembered DMX speaking out before his death, accusing Jay-Z of being so consumed by control and rivalry that he actively sabotaged DMX's career. Specifically, DMX claimed Jay blocked the release of his 6th album, Year of the Dog, again. That wasn't just beef. It felt like betrayal. Everything started to shift back in 2004 when Jay-Z was named president of Def Jam Records. Until then, DMX had been the label's powerhouse, dropping 5 consecutive #1 albums from 1998 to 2003. DMX's reign was unparalleled. He was a cornerstone of Def Jam's success. But according to X, as soon as Jay took the helm, the dynamic changed drastically. DMX alleged that once Jay had the power, he began putting roadblocks in front of Year of the Dog. Again. Why? X believed Jay didn't want any serious competition standing in the way of his own planned comeback. And it wasn't just DMX who felt the effects. Other Def Jam artists, including Redman, also noted the shift. To DMX, it was clear. Jay-Z was clearing the field, making sure no one else could outshine him. DMX wasn't the only one feeling the pressure. Beanie Siegel found himself in a similar situation. Rising fast in the early 2000s, Beanie was dropping heat and building serious momentum as one of Rockefeller's brightest stars. But just as his career started taking off, the energy shifted. According to Beanie and people close to him, Jay-Z started seeing him as a potential threat, someone who could steal the spotlight. The allegations are striking. Beanie claimed that Jay began blocking his album releases and throwing up roadblocks at every turn. This wasn't just about the music. There were murmurs that Jay deliberately scheduled his own album drops to overlap with Beanie's, effectively drowning out Beanie's buzz. Even worse, Beanie's team alleged that Jay limited the number of records he was allowed to press, essentially stifling his momentum before his projects even hit the shelves. Sure, some might write this off as typical industry politics or sour grapes. But let's look at the bigger picture. When multiple respected artists, DMX, Beanie Sigel, Kanye West, start telling similar stories of subtle sabotage, it's hard to ignore. The patterns are there. Even Kanye, who once called Jay family, eventually hinted at the tension. Over time, their relationship soured to the point where Kanye suggested he genuinely feared retaliation from Jay. When you hear these repeated accounts of blocked albums, stolen shine, and suppressed momentum, you can't help but ask, is this all just a coincidence? Or is Jay-Z's shadow stretching farther than anyone realized? That level of rivalry? It goes beyond just a feud. It's like stepping into a world of calculated moves and simmering grudges. Kanye didn't shy away from exposing what he saw as the darker side of Jay-Z and Beyoncé's reign. He openly accused them of being more than just industry leaders, calling them puppets who follow orders to maintain their power. Beyoncé, celebrated as a champion of empowerment, has also faced her share of allegations. Claims that she's used her influence to eclipse other female artists perceived as threats. And one of the most enduring whispers? Her alleged jealousy of the late Aaliyah. This wasn't just about Aaliyah's undeniable talent or her ability to command the spotlight. It was personal. Before Beyoncé, there was talk that Jay-Z had his sights set on Aaliyah. Dame Dash, who was deeply close to Aaliyah, shared that Jay was relentless in pursuing her. But Aaliyah didn't reciprocate those feelings. Then, seemingly out of nowhere, Beyoncé stepped into the picture. Jay and Beyoncé made their relationship public in 2001, just a few months after Aaliyah's tragic plane crash in the Bahamas. The timing still raises eyebrows. Fans and insiders alike have commented on how quickly the dynamic shifted and how strange the timing seemed. Even after Aaliyah's untimely death, rumors swirled that Beyoncé wasn't done pushing potential rivals aside. After leaving Destiny's Child and solidifying her partnership with Jay-Z, more stories surfaced. One of the most prominent involves Amerie. Back in the mid-2000s, Amerie was on fire. Her hit One Thing became a massive success, and many noted its distinct production style. That sound, crafted by hitmaker Rich Harrison, soon reappeared on Beyoncé's Crazy in Love. The rumor mill suggested that Beyoncé swooped in, working with Harrison and effectively leaving Amerie in the dust. Then there's the saga with Carrie Hilson. Their feud is one of the most infamous in Beyoncé's career. It all reportedly began when Carrie dropped a diss track that many believed was directed at Beyoncé. But later, Carrie claimed she had been pressured into recording the track, allegedly by her own producers, who wanted to stir the pot and boost attention. Instead of sparking more fame, the move led to backlash, and Carrie's career never fully recovered. Whether it's whispers about strategic alliances, alleged jealousies, or behind-the-scenes power plays, the stories surrounding Jay-Z and Beyoncé paint a complicated picture, one that raises more questions with every revelation. Initially, Carrie Hilson tried to clear the air, denying she ever threw shade. But the drama hit a boiling point when she made headlines for refusing to hold a magazine cover featuring Jay-Z and Beyoncé during a red carpet interview. That single moment set off a firestorm. The Bayhive mobilized instantly, dragging her online in a relentless onslaught. And the backlash didn't stop there. According to some accounts, it even turned physical, with fans reportedly confronting her in person. As the years went by, the pressure mounted. By 2020, Carrie revealed she had received serious threats over the entire ordeal. What started as a single controversy had spiraled into something much darker. And just when it seemed like things couldn't get more troubling, another voice emerged from the shadows: former celebrity bodyguard Uncle Ron. Before his death from pneumonia in late 2021, Uncle Ron dropped bombshell claims about the Carters. He stated outright that Beyoncé and Jay-Z had a hand in deliberately sabotaging other artists, preventing them from climbing to the top. These weren't just vague accusations. Uncle Ron spoke as someone who had seen the game from the inside. He painted a picture of an industry where power was wielded to crush potential threats, where artists were blackballed, blocked, or outright erased. His statements added weight to a growing list of names, talented individuals whose careers seemingly vanished overnight after crossing paths with the Carters. The list has grown so long it could fill a whole documentary, and the fact that it's impossible to cover everyone in a single video speaks volumes. Fans still debate whether all these stories are fueled by jealousy or if they reveal a deeper, more deliberate pattern of behavior. But when figures like Eminem and 50 Cent step into the conversation, it becomes harder to dismiss as mere rumor. These aren't just random whispers, they're repeated allegations from respected industry insiders. It's becoming more and more apparent that this isn't just idle gossip, it's starting to look like a recurring playbook. Now the question is, what do you think? Could these allegations really be true, or are they just wild conspiracy theories? Let us know in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this story so more people can weigh in. And as always, stay tuned. There's more to uncover in this ongoing saga.